I'll start recording again now. Right, so I just finished Diablo, and I think rather than start a Warhammer 2 campaign, because I have got ideas, but I think I might do that tomorrow or something. We're actually going to have a look at another ARPG, which I've mentioned on and off every now and then. More as just a show-off for the game than anything else. I don't think it will go into a full playthrough of the game, because I haven't personally finished it myself, and it gets a bit repetitive. So, we're going to have a look at Sacred Gold, which is... it's one of the many sort of Diablo clones which have come out around the time. As I said, it's an ARPG. I can't remember the company which made it. I'm going to have that in my YouTube video down the bottom. But yeah, I got this game from GOG quite a while ago. It interested me because it has a wide variety of classes which you can choose from. You have a choice between different campaigns. This is the one which has an expansion attached to it, which added 2 new classes.
This world.
But yes, so here's all the classes you can choose from. This game is a isometric ARPG, but it's got 3D models for the characters and for the enemies. You can choose from different classes. They will talk when I mouse over them. I'm going to give brief overviews as far as I can remember for what the classes are. This guy down here, he's the Gladiator. He's a melee focused class, as you'd expect. This is the Seraphim. It's sort of like a fast melee attacker. There's a lot of flexibility in these classes, so they can kind of be whatever you just want to focus on skill-wise. It'll make more sense when I get into the game. And then we have the Demon.
This world.
I think called Demon? Or Demon? Yeah, just Demon. I can actually highlight them. Hold on. Okay, so Gladiator, Seraphim, Demon. Demon is a melee attacker. She has a demonic form which buffs her stats, which she can go into every now and then. You have the Dwarf. He's like a dwarf engineer from like Warhammer, if you imagine that. You can focus on like an axe, heavy armor, axe and shield, or ranged weapons. He can have a rifle, or he can, and he also has a mortar pack where he can launch mortar shots from, which is pretty cool. We have the Wood Elf, ranged bow attacker. From what I guess, this is, I don't think I've ever played as a Wood Elf seriously. I think I played the most of the Gladiator, Demon, the Dwarf I think is the most, and then the Vampirist. We'll get to her. There's the Battle Mage, Spellcaster, Dark Elf. I'm guessing kind of like an assassin type class, like from Diablo 2. Fast attacker, light on armor, probably quick to move around. I would guess probably also poison in these attacks. And a Vampirist, which is a melee attacker who has options to summon pets to attack with. Heavy armor, melee attacker, also has a vampire form which she can transform into, which buffs her stats and gives her life drain, I think. Interesting class. I don't really have any personal opinions of which class people would like to have a look at. Does anyone have any suggestions? As I said, the main draw I had for this game was because of the interesting sounding classes. I don't have any guides on how to build characters open, so I suppose I'll just be showing how things go with it. A dual wielder. Let's see. Or dwarf. You see, that's one of the things. I think pretty much any class can dual wield. I think it's just based on whether you put points into a skill. I might be wrong with that. It has been a while since I played the game. Can't beat minions for ease of use if not terribly exciting most of the time. Okay, so it's like Dwarf or the Vampirist. This is my foggy memory on how these classes act. As I said, I haven't finished this game and I haven't played it for quite a while. maybe we could just have a look at some of a number of the classes. So we'll play as a dwarf. We'll call him Tekud. And so you can choose your difficulty here. Difficulty in this game, if you start off on bronze, it's probably going to be a bit easy if you're used to ARPGs. So generally starting on silver is probably a better idea, but silver can be a bit overly difficult at the beginning. Well, hold me to my exact phrasing. Sure of it. Eternal reputation's at stake. Oh no. Such a harsh chat. So I think usually I would start on silver just because you get better loot, you get more experience, it makes leveling up faster, though monsters are tougher. The early game in this game can be a bit of a slog. And it's quite repetitive. If you don't like the idea of fighting hordes of monsters wherever you go, then this game isn't for you. It's an ARPG, but it's really heavy on the, you want to go somewhere, there's going to be monsters between you and there all the way. We'll go on silver. Why not? We'll start the game. There's a backstory for the dwarf, something I think about him being the last of his kind. I guess we can watch the introductory cutscene.
Noctura premis shine. Sakama.
And there we go. Oh, we've got a flashback or something like that. No, chapter 1. So, yeah, always double checking minions work. Yeah. He was very confident in these little goblins working. I have no idea how that works. How that is relevant to the overall story. Here we go. The Dream. Shadar, the Necromancer, conjures a demon and fails. I guess that's who it was. The beast from the depths of hell is free. Where am I? Crash landed. This place. Nothing here seems familiar. Oh, my head. Not even drinking 3 barrels of stout gives me such a headache. I don't even remember why I'm here. Yet, I know one thing. There's trouble in the air. My dwarven nose never deceives me. Maybe it was all a dream. Everything felt so real. I wonder whether the approaching soldier will be able to point me in the right direction to prevent the nightmare from descending upon the world of Ancaria. Can skip a tutorial. Yeah, skip it. I think this warrior up here will give us tutorial. So here we go. The graphics overall for the world in this reminds me a lot of Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic Obscura. A kind of like 3D isometric environment. It looks pretty nice, honestly. Talk about a bad day. That wouldn't have happened if you paid his minions a decent wage. Yes. Another thing about this game is I believe it was originally released in German, so this is a translation. That will become more apparent later on, because this game, I enjoy it. It's got quirks to it. So what have we got here? We've got a large torch, axe law, 145 gold for price, 7 to 13 damage. You can hold it and hit the creatures with it to, like, deal some fire damage. Weapon damage, fire, plus 20% of dexterity. Yes, one thing in this game, as I mentioned earlier, is there is a lot of customization in this game, and there is a lot of suffixes and prefixes for items. And they can apply to pretty much any stat in a variety of ways, which is very interesting, and it can also be really overwhelming. What's in this scroll? We have, in this chest, we have an elaborate cannon of litheness. Let's put that on. Dwarf means it's only usable by dwarf. Expected protection is 10. You'll see... It's been a while since I played this, so I'm not going to be able to explain things completely. This is not very clear on how things work. I'm going to do my best. I'm sorry if anyone watches this later on and they are much more knowledgeable about this game than I am. But okay, so you see expected protection there is 10. Further down that list there is protection, and you'll see it's got a 5 and then a red 5 and then 10 in brackets. So the 5 there, the first 5, which is sort of beige in color or cream in color, that's physical resistance. And then the red 5 is fire resistance. And then together, you know, they give you 10 protection. But they're giving 5 for each. I think that's out of 100 for them. I could be wrong. You can sort of see a breakdown of your resistances when you mouse over to these. Yes, you can mouse over each of these and it pops up other menus. We have our skills here. Weapon lore, constitution, increases health and the rate of healing. Weapon lore. The ability increases, this ability increases the damage dealt to a foe from close combat and ranged weapons. I don't have a proper order to read through, so it's probably going to be a deluge of information for people unfamiliar to this game. I'm sorry. This is something I can explain, though. This item here, it's called Greed. It gives us +1 Greed, which is one of the dwarf class's skills. It also has spell resistance +2. I'll leave that for the moment. So, the way you learn skills in this game is by picking up these little runes. These runes, there are runes for every ability for each class in the game. Whenever you use a rune by right-clicking on it, you will either, if you don't have it, learn that skill, or if you do have it, you will gain a level in that skill. It's like reading spellbooks in Diablo. You might think that you want to read or use every rune that you get in the game as soon as you get it. That's not necessarily true, because while, say, for a melee attack skill, it will increase the damage it does, it may also do something else which you don't necessarily want, like increase the casting time for that ability, because it's an ability. You cast it every time you want to use it. So if you've got like a, as an example, if you have like a cleave attack, if you read 2 runes of the cleave attack, you might increase the damage it deals by, say, 4 points, but it will also increase the casting time for the cleave attack by 0.4 seconds for both of the reads. And that's not good, because you want to be using the ability quickly to deal with large groups of enemies. But if you're using the ability every 2 seconds, then it's not very useful for that. There are ways to lower the casting time for abilities, usually through items. But because of that, you don't necessarily want to use a rune which, say, increases the casting time of an ability, unless you have items which can lower the casting time to overcome, to offset the negatives there. I can feel my throat hurting already.
Hey ho, it's off to work we go.
Thank you, Tickled. Let's use Greed. There's no reason not to use the abilities as soon as you get them. At least first off. Greed. Searches intently for better items at the expense of defense values. Chance of finding special items, plus 20. I don't know what plus 20 is. Plus 20% chance? I don't think it's that high. It's a little bit of an extra chance. Reduces own defense 90%. Duration is 20 seconds. You can see if we can find another Greed rune, next level, regeneration is 11.3 seconds. That's its time it takes before you can use the ability again. That's the recharge. So you can see it goes from 8.1 to 11.3. That's quite a bit. Considering that it lasts for 20 or 21 seconds for the next level, you can keep using them until the point where it probably gets the regeneration is higher than as you can keep it up. Chance of finding special items goes up by 5. Reduces own defense actually goes down, so the more levels you get in it, the less it reduces your defense. You have all your different skills here. Warcry, Wrath. What's Warcry? Increases combat values by focusing the sensors. Increases attack and defense values for 30 seconds. Wrath, a fast attack against every enemy within range. Does less damage, gives a radius attack buff. Assault, a series of attacks against one opponent. Just like a flurry of attacks against them. But we start off with that one. Recoil, two-handed weapon only. Uses a foe as projectile. Okay, so I club them and they get knocked away? Heavy blow, concentrated attack against one enemy, causing severe damage. Battle rage, a combat frenzy, increases frequency of attacks. Injuries increase the damage. So I guess the more damage I've taken, the more damage I deal. Vehemence. Sweeping attack, damages surrounding foes as well. It's like the cleave attack which I was describing. Flamethrower. The flamethrower ignites and burns foes. Yes, we can get a flamethrower. Or our backpack doubles as a flamethrower. You might see this large barrel on our back there. Dwarven armor. Improves fire and poison resistance of the recipient. Increases your, fire and poison resistances for a period of time. Landmine. Drops the number of landmines behind the dwarf's back. Mortar grenade. Can target locations regardless of barriers. You can hit units behind walls or tree lines or something like that. I think it pops out of here. Dwarven Steel. The weapons will hit more often and cut through physical armor. Gives you an increase to your attack stats for a period of time. Entrench. An immobile but very secure protector sphere with a short duration. Increases your defenses for a period. Cannon blast. This might actually stop you from moving. Yes, an immobile, so you can't move while you're doing that. It's like you've dug in. Cannon blast. Direct cannon shot at a target. You have combos here, which... this is like... preset... selections of these. I think. Like, if you choose one of these... you can put like 3 skills into it, and then you can just call them when you need to. What else do we have? We have a Dwarven Battle Hammer. Damage is 32 to 39. Physical damage is 22 to 27. I don't know how that works. Versus undead weapon damage fire plus 31% strength. I think the number you need to look at there is the physical strength. 22 to 27. I think that damage 32 to 39 is after it's been modified by your stats. Maybe. Oh boy. You can see, this is why I said this game is kind of confusing. There is a wiki which explains all this far better than I'm able to do. Let's just go and have a look around and find monsters to knock on the head. Can I... That's saving. Yes, we can use greed. Yeah. Pops down there. Right click, and it pops up. There we go. Let's talk to this guy. Death and devils! I have never seen someone like you. Moreover, what by all demons did you just crawl out of? My grandfather told me of your race. I always thought it was merely a fairy tale. The dwarves are supposed to be hardened warriors and knowledgeable in machines. Well, King Arnhem surely could use all the help he can get. Go and find Ramata in Bellevue. Tell him I sent you. Okay, those butterflies look suspicious. Rather pretty having them flying around like that. Okay, let's go up here. There's some wolves. Wag of Zuragnar. Also might be able to hear some of the voices in the background. Maybe I want to increase that a little bit, perhaps. There we go. Okay.
Ha!
I please be able to deal with you?
Curse thee!
Oh, they hurted me a fair bit. Okay. I instinctively used a potion. We have potions here, health potions. They actually work by... the potions have... Generates life by 60%. Okay. I thought they had like a pool of hit points that you would drink, so you don't drink the entire potion in one go, but maybe I'm wrong. If we press Alt, we can highlight objects which are dropped on the ground. There is also a collect all function. If you press A and there's items nearby, you'll run around and pick up all the items around automatically, which is very nice. Let's go into this cave. Wish I had a better weapon. There we go. He dropped something. 38 gold. Okay. Deal with you. Elendiar of the Dark Hills. He dropped a discarded dagger of the lion. So remember how I said that this game was originally in German and it was translated? One of the oddities in this game is that somewhere along the way, the suffix and prefix words, the file in the game, from what I've read, got like shifted off. If you imagine it like a big list of like words, it was apparently like shifted slightly, so all the items in the game have the wrong words. So the name is non-indicative of what the item does, or rather they are, but they're not what you'd expect. So this discarded dagger of the lion has 3 to 4 magic. Weapon damage physical plus 40% dexterity. That means I think that if you have high dexterity, it adds to the damage of the dagger, because a dagger would be an item you would use with high dexterity. So it's a nice touch. This is a game where you're discarding weapons called annihilating daggers of the menial. And it's like, oh, annihilating dagger. That sounds great. Shabby armor. Well, that at least sounds appropriate. 15 protection, 8 magic protection. Physical resistance is plus 20% of endurance. Oh, and there was another item there, some gold. Let's get that. And there's a bunny or a hare. Oh, we're actually up on the cliff top. Let's go around. Okay, I wonder if I have any of my saved files here for characters which I have more time into. Let's zoom in. It's nice being able to zoom in. There we go, we got a level. I think that mostly allows you to allocate stat points. Come on, there we go. There we go. If we go for our level. Okay, so let's see. We got one skill point now. I can put it into either weapon lore or constitution. Increase healing and a rate of healing, or increases the damage dealt to a foe for close combat and ranged weapons. Can I? Hold on. Fiddle was the... I'm trying to remember whether I can put points into these skills here. Strength, endurance, dexterity. That might actually be every... Like, not every level. That might be every few levels. As I said, it's been a while since I've played this. You can actually see down there how it will increase our stats. So, putting a level into weapon lore will increase our physical, magical, fire, and poison damage from 12% to 19%. I put it into constitution, it increases our health by plus 8%, and our physical regeneration to plus 11%. That's our passive healing over time. I think it might apply during combat, I'm not too sure. More health seems nice, so let's do that. I didn't really want to use that. Pretty sure I can put on, like, attributes and... Where is... There's a way to, like, keep this up. And you can't click on it. I think. Let me just press every key on the button. Here we go, help. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Oh, you can also see that we got extra slots down here when we went up to level 2. So I can queue up another, like, sword, shield combo or ranged weapon here, which I can switch between by pressing 1, 2. I think you can get 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you get 4 more over here. These are abilities, so you could put, like, assault there, and then you can put greed there, and you can swap between them with 6 and 7. Yeah, there we go. I'm not too sure how I'd go about doing that. I don't know how to apply that attribute point. I don't know how to keep the menu up. Well, whatever. Not important. Let's go down this way and around here. Let's get rid of these LNDRs. I guess that wasn't a name, that was a description. Oh yes, your character will actually shout out things based on how their attacks are affecting the enemy and so on. Or how the enemy's attacks are affecting them. So I think he said something there like, my armor is weak against physical damage or normal damage. That just means that my armor isn't very good. Like, we're not, like, reducing the amount of physical damage we're taking by a significant amount, which you can't really expect at the beginning. He'll do the same if he gets hit by, like, fire attacks, so on. Let's use one of our flurry attacks. Get out of here, you wargs. Wonk. You can also see the resistances of the enemy down there. You can see the wargs have rather good physical and fire resistance, but not too much poison resistance. How much resistance they have is based on how visible. You can tell by how visible these icons are. This guy is a special character. You can tell because he's title down there is gold, and he kicked our ass. We respawn back here. We lose some of our gold, but unlike Diablo, you don't have to restart everything all over again. Do I have another character I can check? Let me see. Save game. Sure. I will not remember anything about these characters. It was, yeah, back in 2015. When I last played this. Let's load this one. It might be a dwarf character. I believe I had played a lot of that. Okay, yes, it is. Okay, so I think this dwarf is focused on melee, like heavy armor. I have an inaccurate axe of the servant, which deals 68 to 95 physical. It damages around 242 to 338. Dominating shield of the mauling. Splitting battle axe of the wanderer. And I also have a rifle here. That's a two-handed weapon I have. And I also have a pistol. Which is rather nice. How's my abilities gone? Let's see. Warcry is level 1. Recoil is level 2. What have I been putting my points into? Greed is level 3. Dwarf Armor is level 2. Dwarven Steel is level 3. And Trench is level 1. Landmine is level 1. Okay. I have so many things in my inventory, I can't remember all of these. There are some items specific for each class. So these wings here are for Seraphim. This is for Battle Mage, I would guess. These are for Battle Mage. It's a bit difficult to tell the items apart because they use 3D models for these and they're not really too clear. I have all these rings and these amulets and so on I've been keeping in my inventory, as well as a bunch of runes here. Something else I didn't mention is you'll see the runes here have like wounds increased, damage dealt plus 10%. You can actually socket runes into items like gems. And you can actually do that with rings as well, I believe. So if I put, I think, this incredible Ring of the Eagle into one of my items, I would get 2% to all resistances. I can also do that with amulets, I think. And maybe other classes' runes as well. This is a demon rune here. For the demon class. This is a Seraphim's rune. This is for a dark elf here. The color of an item does tell its quality. I think yellow is rare. Blue is magical. Green is part of a set. I think it's very close to how it's done in Diablo 2. Yeah. So you can see these boots here, they have an open slot down the bottom. Oh man. There's a reason why that square down the bottom there, which you can put an item into, is bronze. and I think that has something to do with the type of item you put into it. Hello, this is Diablo at all. No, we finished Hellfire, and I'm doing a bit of a show off of another game which I played a bit of called Sacred. Which is a game I've enjoyed in the past. It's kind of difficult to get into, and frankly, since I haven't played it for quite a long time, I'm very rusty on it. Like I think probably just show this off. +5 to attack. If I put that in there, can I put that into there? Maybe I have to go to a blacksmith or something to be able to put it into there. I think like the color of the square there, it might actually increase the power of the effect of the item you put into there. I'm not too sure. I'm sorry. But yeah. Where am I? I am up here. Ah, yes. This is another thing I rather like about the game. It's kind of open world. The map is pretty huge. There's a lot of places you can go to. I don't know where the end game is. I might be over here. I'm not too sure. We're currently up here somewhere, I think. Well, over here, where the X is. I cannot remember for the life of me what the plot is at the moment. For what's it called? Scale. We started off down here. That's where the dwarf class starts. Each of the different classes starts in a different area, but it is around here. Because this is the starting island area. And then when you cross this bridge here, you sort of get into the open, into the world at large. The Gladiator starts in this little arena there. I think the Vampirist starts in that mansion there. I think that maybe the Dark Elf starts in that cave there. The Demoness starts in the graveyard there. Battle Mage might start... I can't remember anything else. Dwarf starts down there, as I said. Anyway, so yeah, it's quite a distance to travel. And it's fighting every inch of the way. There's like goblins all over this area. Can I teleport over there? I think I'd have to get to a teleport stone or something. Let's see if we can find some enemies to fight out here. Life Leecher of the Orcus. Okay. I've completely forgotten how to play this class. I just use my armor. And there's birds everywhere. Is that an area which I can teleport with? Yes.
These enemies are a waste of my time. I can honestly say that brewing tea is more challenging.
Thank you, dwarf. There's a goblin. We are now over here. So we went from up there down to here. Here's these goblins. And orcs. And they drop loot, shields, and greaves, and so on. They have funny voices. This game's not really serious in tone. Okay, good. You can just hold down the mouse for attacking. The goblins are getting attacked by the undead. Get out of here. Let's use our flintlock. There we go. Can I deal with flintlocks? I don't think I have another one. Dwarves drinking tea. Thought they only drank booze. Tea's very important. It is. I approve of this dwarf's tea drinking habit. Get out of here. Okay. Get out of here, skeleton. Oh, I think that means that you actually come back. Yep. Because you have to chop the head off the skeletons. And you'll see his head popped off. Oh, no, he's back up again. Get out of here. There we go. When they explode, they're dead permanently. But the skeleton's head fell off. And this is something else you can socket into items too. As I said, there is a lot of customization in this game. It is kind of insane. So you want to put a skull into your shield or whatever to get some poison damage or into your weapon or whatever, you can do that. And there's probably better items, but yeah. The options there. And that skeleton's head just popped off again. I think there's a potion you can drink to make it... Yes, potion of undeath death. If we drink one of these, when we kill undead, they will just explode. They won't keep popping up again. Is there anything in here? There's a book. This. Book of recipes. What's this say? I think there is a lot of books that you can get in this. Yes. Recipes. Grilled quail out of brave rock. Hunt 6 quails, or if that is not possible, 3 chickens will do, and kill them. Make a cut across their spine and press the bird halves flat. Insert a spear along the length of the animal and another one across it, so the legs and wings become fixed. Cover the body with fat or butter and season it with salt and pepper. Grill the animal until constant rotation until crisp. Under constant rotation until crisp, then prepare the sauce. Use sugar and mustard with oil and a splash of red wine. Heat this up until the sauce becomes chowdery. Braveberry steamed spinach. All that you need to want to know about cooking. What's that? Rotting boots of failure. They sound fantastic. They're for dark elves. Endurance +2. Protection 2 to 6. Good thing you're instructed to kill them but not to pluck. Oh yeah, I didn't mention plucking them. Oh well. You have to eat it all. Feathers and all. That's how you gain the strength of the quail. Okay. You can actually go up on top of these buildings too. Like upstairs. It's rather neat. You sort of teleport up and down the stairs. It's a little janky, but it's neat. Come on. Get over here.
Now you're going to get a good smacking.
The death sounds are very silly. I think I'm dealing poison damage to them. That's why that little green splashes are popping off their bodies. I would not be able to tell you where I can see my poison damage. It might be there. Yeah, so I'm dealing mostly physical damage. I'm dealing some fire damage, a tiny bit of magic damage, and a bit of poison damage. And you can also see how you square up against, like, the last enemy you attacked. I think there's also a way to maybe see the strongest enemy which you attacked. You get all the information which you need. Also, I'm pretty sure in this game, the longer you stand still, you imagine like a circle expanding around your character, which draws enemies towards you. Shame the skeletons don't also explode just to be safe. You mean for the thieves? It's not enough that they die, that we have to explode their skeleton to make sure that they don't come back as undead. Okay, there's a orcish ghostly warrior.
Orc filth!
The little circle around their feet is their health meter, and the color of it determines, it's like telling you how tough they are. So green is they're weak, but they're giving me some experience. These ghosts have a gray circle around their base, which is they're so weak that they're not even giving me experience. Out of here. That's a potion of Viper's antidote. What about this? Some gold. There's a little sparkle there. It's a hidden magical hiding place. There was neglected Wings of the Eagle in there, which is a Seraphim shield, I think. I'm not too sure. There's actually a sequel to this game called Sacred 2. I have that as well. I don't know whether it's installed. I think Sacred 2 is probably a bit more accessible than the first one. It's got less classes in it though. It's got Seraphim again, that being kind of the mascot of the game, because it got to have a Skeleton Clan character as, as the mascot of the game. There's also a sorcerer class. There's like a robot you can play as who has an arm cannon like Mega Man. What are the other classes? I can't remember them. Sorry. But yeah, I think Sacred 2 is a bit more accessible because at least it doesn't have a bit of a translation problem. This reminds you of Arcanum for some reason. Yes, I think I mentioned that earlier. The graphics in it remind me a lot of Arcanum. Just something about the visual style of it. And how... Doesn't Arcanum have like 3D models on the 2D background? There's a lot of little like nooks and crannies you can poke your head into in this. Some gold there. 540 gold. Let's go up here. Yeah, I think we could go up this this ladder. Can we? Maybe we can't. Nope, I guess not. Overuse of sharpness filters. You think so? Is that something I can change? Let's see. No. Not really that much options I can fiddle around with. Oh yeah, and you hear all the background chatter of characters and all that. Just like background muttering. Hello. Ye gods, no, let me live. I didn't know he was so keen on it. Here, take the painting, but let me live.
Of course. A dwarf needs no fellowship for quests like these.
Sure. I have no idea. Hello?
Here we are. You and I. The scoundrel of execution.
We're getting attacked. We have to defend ourselves. I just broke into someone's house and suddenly everyone's attacking me.
That was too easy.
I think there is an awful lot of side quests in this game. Just like little things you can do all over the place. Tiny jobs you can do for people which are just not really worth your time. There's a vampire ability. Blood Swarm. Is that a set item? What is it? Where is it? All are Aisling's adornment of experience. Okay. All art assets were made as 3D models, animated in 3D software that rendered from different angles, resulting in 2D sprites with having to draw each animation separately. This was pretty common for that area. It can be seen in similar games like Fallout, Baldur's Gate, and Diablo. Yeah, I believe these are actually 3D models, they're not sprites, so... This is like rendering 3D models on a 2D background. The buildings might have been modeled in 3D. Not too sure. That was for Arcanum. Ah, okay. Thank you. Pardon. What's this runestone say? Tirim, Lath, Ram, A, Osradam, Hadvin. Okay. Have you heard? Since this is the land of the aesthetics, poets, and thinkers, naturally everyone can read. Passion among the Mascaro inhabitants is to collect series of books, for it is said that the gods grant their special grace to those who strive towards completeness. So if you find books, read them into your logbook, and who knows what will happen when you know all there is to know about geography or history. I guess hinting to find books, and you get bonuses for it. I think, can you get a mount? I can't remember. Maybe? Sacred 2 you can get mounts. I don't know about the first one. I think you can buy a horse. That sounds familiar. And you could call it by a button. But I don't know what that would be. Do I have an ability here for summoning a horse? No. Okay. The sharpness wasn't a complaint, it's more an observance. Sort of what you think of visuals of this age. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. It's just... I'm not too... I guess it's because it's like... You can zoom in and out, so things have to be like sharp at different levels. It sort of blurs when you get a bit too close to it. The ground actually might be 3D as well. Anyway. Aesthetes. Oh, did I mispronounce it? Out of here. No. Just leaving trails of corpses everywhere. I don't really have an overall goal. I'm just wandering around killing things, showing off the game. There is like secret bosses you can find and all that. You might have seen some of my save files had like dragon, and just because I think I saved DS, there's like a number of dragons you can fight in the game. They're really tough monsters, but they drop good loot. And they respawn, so you can sort of harvest them for items, I think. But yeah, let's see. Is there something down here? It can be a bit labyrinthine to get around, because in some areas I remember it's like you want to get down the cliff, but you have to go all the way around to a like specific area to get down there. It's a lot of traveling and a lot of fighting. Get out of here. And you. What's in here? Some more gold. How much gold do I have? I'm picking up like 450 gold in each group. Yeah, I've got like 537,155. What's that? Battle Rage. That's a dwarf ability. There's an orc warrior. That's like a champion, orc warrior, destructive saver of the guardians. What's that do? You don't have to identify items in this game, it seems. Get out of here. Plus 20 attack speed, plus 12% to attack. Regeneration special move, plus 23%. No way to compare items. Not too sure. And think about words. That's fine. Don't worry. Feel free to correct me if I mispronounced something. I will do so on occasion from having just read words and not actually heard them spoken aloud, so. Oh, it's firing flaming arrows at me. I do like how the enemies are attacking each other. The orcs don't like the skeletons. We're only playing on bronze difficulty here. And you. Actually got no arm. Now he's got no head.
Your kind are a curse on this earth.
And let's use a potion. There we go. Stop that. And you. There's something around here which I could, like, something tougher which I could fight, or is it just goblins, orcs, and skeletons? Creatures will chase you for quite a fair distance from what I remember. We got like a little train of creatures behind us. Let's deal with you. And they're all teamed up against me too. Decaying bow of oblivion. Ooh, there's a spellcaster. Orc shaman. There we go. Lesser potions of the mentors. Potions of the mentors. I think those increase the amount of experience you get while you're under the effects of them. Yes, increases experience points gained until effects fade. Way to Wyvern Pass. The elements of Ancaria. I believe there's like a... Somewhere in the desert there's like a zombie dragon I think I've fought before. Might actually be there. Or no. No. I don't know, I'm sorry. We'll see whether we can find it. What's that? Armor of Arsenic. Wonderful. I'm sure it'd be a very, very good suit of armor. Might increase my poison resistance. Maybe it increases my poison damage. you. And you. And you, and you. Okay. Oh, whatever.
Never underestimate a dwarf.
We'll get rid of you two. Okay. Yeah. I don't really have much more to show about the game. It's an interesting one. It's a bit rough around the edges, but you're favorably impressed by the feature set of this game. There is, as I said, it's not very user-friendly. When I was playing it a fair bit, I had to use a wiki to read up a lot on how things in the game work. Also things like how I'm supposed to be building my class or character and all that, because there's a lot of options. Because it's not really like Diablo 2 where you unlock skills and you can like switch between them. You sort of have to focus on one or two of these quite a bit. But yeah, there's a lot of flexibility in it, to the point where it's overwhelming a bit. Because look at all the stats on that. When it gets to that point, I'm always thinking, okay, so how good is this? Is it better than what I have? Do I want to use this? What skills am I focusing on? I think when I was playing this, what I'd do was I would focus on one or two of those stats in particular and ignore all the others. So you go, I want to attack as fast as possible. Does this weapon increase my attack speed? If yes, then I might use it if it's higher than what I have. If no, then I'll ignore it. That cuts things down quite a bit. But as I said, it's been so long since I played this, I really can't remember how I was playing this class. I was following a guide someone had written up, I think for like a Dwarf Lord class or something like that. Dwarf Fortress Stars NetHack. Used to playing with research documents open. This game might be for you then. I mean, I'm not really trying to sell it or ward people off playing it. You know, people can make their minds up for their own. I enjoyed it. I haven't finished it. As I said, it's an ARPG. There's a lot of fighting, as you'd expect, but you've seen it. I've been walking around for a bit, and there's fighting every inch of the way. You do have an entire world to explore, which is pretty neat. And I haven't been really anywhere at all. Zombie Dragon might be actually down there. But you can see where I have been because there's these little red dots, which are like the limits of the areas I've been. I haven't even been thoroughly mapping all of this because, frankly, it's just a lot of open areas. I don't know if there's things underneath here. So just following rivers and roads. Because going off into the wilderness is like, fine. You're going to get attacked by bandits all the way. It's a lot of effort. I do find ARPGs where it's just combat like this to be relaxing. It's like, because it's so straightforward, you can just sort of sit there, not really worrying about it, and just fall into the process of doing things, which is enjoyable in its own way. It's how I played World of Warcraft. But yeah. And with other classes too. Let me just see. Okay, that's fine. With other classes to do, you have quite a bit of variety. Let's actually look at the vampires as an example for different skills. Yep, we've seen all that. Okay. No more tips.
My bloodlust is growing. I'm close to my destination.
So the vampires. Like melee attacker again. You start with a short sword, a round shield, and you have turn into vampire. transformation from human form into vampires. It lasts for 30 seconds, but the more levels you put into it, it lasts longer. I think there's actually ways to play the class where you're permanently in vampire form. Pretty cool if you're able to get the duration down enough so that you can keep replenishing it. Wolf Call, you can call a wolf to assist you. Claws of Death, hand attack against an opponent causing severe damage. Mind Control, not when riding on a horse, so there is mounts in this game. You have to purchase them, and they can die, from what I remember. I think you can also fight from horseback. It's kind of janky though. It's like fighting on foot, but you're on a horse. Spellbind opponents, it causes them to stop or become slower during an attack. Time Control. Vampirus moves extremely fast in a straight line towards a remote target. So it's like the Barbarian's charge attack, I think, from Diablo 2. Whirling Claws, multiple attacks against several opponents. This is similar to the Dwarf ability. Combat Kick. Kick that damages an opponent and knocks them back. Ripping Claws, attack combination against an opponent. Claw Jump, brutal attacking jump, which throws back all opponents at the target location and causes them damage. Blood Bite, sucks the life out of an opponent and transfers it to the Vampirus. Master Bite, transform opponent into a submissive servant for a time. Blood Kiss, Vampirus sends an incarnation of a blood god to weaken the abilities of an enemy. Bats Confusion, summons bats, which confuse foes with their attacks. Awaken Dead, a corpse that's transformed into a vampire. Bat's Guard, summons bats which catch shots fired from ranged weapons and attacking magic. And Bat's Blood Swarm, summons bats which attack all foes in the vicinity by dive bombing them. Can't remember whether you get multiple wolves at higher levels of this, or it just lasts for longer. You can get items which increase the stats of your pets, I think. Yeah, you've got the constant, like, audible breathing of your character every now and then. Got this armor. And this Claws of Death. Let's use that. Sorry, we've got another ability. We turn into a vampire. There we go. I believe the way it works is, so you're fighting with your claws. It gives bonuses to your stats, I think. And I believe, depending on what weapons you had equipped when you transformed, it applies those to your melee attacks. You also have a skill up here, Vampirism, and it just wore off. Vampire capabilities are regenerated more rapidly, and a vampire suffers less damage during the day. Pretty sure there's an ability which makes it turn to nighttime. Or there's a way you can make it become nighttime and make nighttime last longer. There might be items which just increase the time, the length of night, because there's a day-night cycle in this game, you can see down here. So you're actually like full strength for a lot longer. The Tower's Foundation. Another book. Okay. Oh, hello.
Help me, noble knight. Please escort me to Captain Ramada at the Bellevue Garrison. Slave catchers are lurking around this unearthly place and want to deliver me to a sorcerer. These villains have attacked the Abbey of the Seraphim and killed or abducted my sisters. Even the majestic Seraphim was struck down by the sorcerer's black magic. The only thing that stops them entering within these walls is fear of the vampires said to live here. If you are prepared to take me to Bellevue, I shall follow you.
I can taste your fear. It leads me to the blood of heinous deeds.
Alright. Let's open this. It's this Book of the Undead. Yeah, it's just a book to read. More books. Into the abyss. Okay. Let's head out. I think we've just got to take you to the nearby town. Get out of here. We're playing on bronze, so it's not as difficult as it was before. Hey, you.
Betrayed your rooting.
Esteemed leader of the Dark Trials, it's the last thing you want to
Go.
miserable life.
Get out of here. Let's actually just pick up everything. Well, we got some shoulder guards and a ring. Come on, follow me. At one point in the story, I believe you actually get a follower who will fight. And it's rather nice because I think whenever they die, they just get back up again. So you got like a immortal follower. You'll see all the NPCs run away when we start fighting in town. There we go. Cut off their arm. I think we've just got to go up here, do we? Or we might have to go up to there. Yeah. This is where you can buy horses. A light nag. I think there's a place in like every major town where you can buy horses. Horses have different stats too. So, you know. We're going around looking for the best horse which money can buy. Okay.
Proud knight and servant of the crown, please go to Porto Valum in the southern borderlands and speak to Sergeant Treville. I shall give you a letter of introduction for him. You will serve Prince Valor, who is fighting the orcs of Korad Nur in the south. Take this gold for the long journey and buy yourself a horse from the stables. A wise warrior would use the long journey to improve their skills. Silver Creek and Porto Valum are not the most peaceful of regions.
Okay. So he gave us some gold and we can buy a horse with that. Where have we got to go? There? Don't actually remember where he's sending you off to. Might be there? Or it might have been down here. Over there? I don't know. You're going to be fighting every inch of the way, so even on a horse. And especially around, like, this area. There's goblins which have root attacks, so you're going to be charging along, and then they're just going to be like, nah, and they stop you in your tracks. Oh, actually sent you here.
I can see into your soul and will pray for you. The thanks of the gods will bless your path as you travel on the soil of Ancaria.
Okay, thank you. What have you got to say? Find a blacksmith. 3 days ago, he left to talk to a merchant about the delivery of raw weapons. Sadly, he has not returned from his journey, just where we need his services so urgently. Unfortunately, I have no further information where this meeting took place, but his wife might know about this. Go to the blacksmith's wife. Maybe she can help.
I doubt that you can pay me properly for this, but I accept it anyway.
I think the blacksmith is actually like around here, and he is getting attacked, so I believe he can die. But yeah, these beginning missions, there aren't anything really special. Would you do me a favor and pick up my paybook from my house? Today is payday, and I've left my paybook at home. You'll see, for these quests, characters will give a very brief, like, description of what they're asking you to do. And then this text down the bottom here, this is just, like, padding. It's just, like, extra stuff which you don't need to read. If you want just the, you know, short of it, that you just need to read the first line, which is rather nice. It allows you to
Well, all right.
quickly see whether
I
something's
accept the mission, but I will decide on the how and the when.
on whether it's something which you want to do or not. I think missions are like restricted based on level. I think it's possible to level past being able to accept all the missions. And there is a lot of quests. You saw someone else over there with one. I remember at Sacred 2 it was possible. Oh, when the kids run around and like make noises at you and taunt you and all that. Yeah, there's an annihilating dagger of the menial. Corroding club of failure. Inaccurate bow of the falcon. Splitting spear of the servants. Maybe they're meant to have names like this. It's just some kind of big joke. I don't know. Anyway, buy a bow. I don't have enough gold. How much is it? 3,163. I have 2,258. Kind of expensive. This crossbow's 1,652, and it's not even magical. Oy. It's easy just to like buy to kill creatures to get items. Yeah, the kids are following you around. You're much too old to play with me. Hello, you're a hero, aren't you? Yeah, I would be. Get out of the way. There we go. I'm very well, thanks for asking. Rude. Bad language.
The place I'm looking for must be very close.
Okay, I believe the blacksmith is around here somewhere. Yes. Oh, the paybook's up in here, in this house, but... blacksmith is a bit further south. Going here. There's a paybook. Pick that up, and we'll take it back to him. Yes, 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 I know. There's a lot of knowledge in books. Yeah, the blacksmith's wife is here. So you are brave enough to search for my Michael and the stone circle of the dancing dead. Let's go do that then. I should be able to do that. I think it's... yeah, up there. We have to cross this bridge. There's goblins here. There we go. Oh, another goblin. Did they drop anything? Singing Saber of the Commoner. That might be better than my sword. 19, 24, plus 17 dexterity. 21, 23, attack speed plus 14. I think often it's just easier to like swap them back and forth and see how your stats are affected than trying to figure it out by just reading them. There we go. Let's go up here and rescue that blacksmith, and then we'll probably call it for this. As I've shown about as much of this as I feel is necessary. This is a bit more context to some of the games which I was talking about while playing Diablo. There he is. Let's go rescue him. They're just like punching him. There we go. Hey there. I mean your debt for my rescue, but a goblin stole a valuable blade from me. I would ask you for further assistance. Bring the stolen blade to my forge in town. Okay. Where's that? Up there. Truly we understand me better. I don't know. I like showing it off. As I said, it's a neat game. Bit rough, but fun to mess around in. And just listen to the foul-mouthed NPCs. Is there... Gold. Magical hiding spots. It's like a... inaccurate bow with a cat. Wonderful. I can equip that. Yeah, you can use a bow. We're not very good with it. One of you? Smoldering armor, a brilliant ring of acid. Brazag!
Ever seen a vampire in the flames of bloodlust? Esteemed leader of bizarre reptiles, it's the last you will ever see in your short, miserable life.
And that goblin was summoning other goblins. An unfinished prototype of a sword etched with fine runes. Golden armor of redemption. So let's pick up all this gold. There we go. I pressed A there, automatic pickup. Smoldering armor is for wood elf. Golden armor of redemption. That's actually vampirist armor. It's probably better than what we've got. Yeah. Let's equip that. There we go. Need this brigand
Band of thieves!
yelling away in the background there. Another magical hiding spot there. Decaying bow of oblivion. What's in there? Unless a healing potion. Okay. There's another one of those teleporters. I used one briefly last time when I was playing as the dwarf. You have to find 2 of them and they're like the waystones, I believe. Though I can't remember whether you could choose where you teleport or whether they teleport you between 2 different locations. Okay, let's head along here. And go back to town.
I like it here. There are plenty of shadowy places in these twisting alleyways.
And cows. Okay. Hey, blacksmith, I got your sword back. Ah, thanks. This Mascarellian blade is indeed priceless. See how the metal was repeatedly folded. Only the dwarves of Nalstep performed this art better. Also, my services as a smith are forever at your disposal. Hooray! So yes, you can... I guess this is one of the places where you could, like, put an item. You could, like... If you had a, let's see. Right. Yeah, so if it had a slot which you could put, like, a, an item into. Oh, did he drop something on the ground there? Maybe I could show it off. Hack. Yeah, okay. I can't use this, but we can use it as an example. So you see this has got 1 silver slot. Blacksmith's art or jewelry can be laid in here. So these are the blacksmith's arts. You can add like plus 12% to attack in there. Plus 12% to defense, or all this stuff. Spell bonuses and mental regeneration, which is magic, mana. In there. But you could also put like a ring in there. And it'll add its stats to the item. Which is rather neat. I think if I did that, I might get some poison damage? Yeah. You can also take them out as well, so... It seems like it's free to take it out. I'm not too sure whether it's in, but... That's customization. And you can put runes in there as well, as I mentioned earlier. But you don't have any runes at the moment. But the runes which you use to give yourself combat arts, they have little effects attached to them. And you can stick them in there as well. Anyway, I think that's about all that I want to show for this game. It's neat. What's under extras? Credits, intro, Underworld, intro. Underworld's the expansion. Yeah, that is at least a brief look at Sacred Gold. It's fun. If you like ARPGs, it's one maybe worth checking out. Just be prepared to probably look up some wikis to, if you want to delve into it deeper. Oh boy. Anyway, thank you very much for joining. I hope you join me again next time.